the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network this Friday night. As they make their way into turn 4, the pace car will be ready to dive it in. Here we go, ready to go racing. 135 laps coming at you this Friday night. Pace cars into the pits.
Green, green, green.
There's the green flag. We're off to the races here in Iowa. Take a look up front. It is the newcomer Dalton Collins in that nice looking Dodge. The 005 currently has a 3/10 of a second lead over Jeff Wood and Christopher Matas, who are battling side by side. Matas, the 27 to the outside, has taken a short hiatus from iRacing. Comes back at it tonight, and take a look at that battle right there, side by side with Jeff Wood into turn 1 here on lap number 3. Behind him is the number 4 of Wes Holland, your series points leader coming into tonight. Excuse me, I apologize for that. I did get that incorrect. Jason Covington is your series points leader coming in tonight. Currently running back there in 6th position, the number 10 machine you see there. Down on the track. As they look to head towards lap number 5, Collins still leads the field, pulling away to almost 3/4 of a second gap. Really checking out as Christopher Matas back in second. Holland now moves into third. Wood falls back to fourth. Ted Quinzel, Jason Covington, Nick Reynolds, Stephen Kinney, Michael G, and Brent Kuehl are your top 10 here heading towards lap number 6. Continuing to watch the 005 of Dalton Collins as he fires the super late model into turn number 3. Keeps it down low towards the yellow line as he fades it out into the wall. Into the front stretch across the start-finish line. And I tell you what, folks, 1/8 of a second already. And we haven't even got to 10% of this race. You gotta wonder one of two things. Can Dalton Collins maintain this kind of a lead? Or is he gonna burn up the tires? Back behind Christopher Matas is the number 4 of Reckham West Holland. Holland just under 2/10 of a second. Gavin flirts with the wall in the backstretch. Holland known to have a long-run setup car, so the longer we stay green, I'm going to anticipate this 4 car to move beyond the 27 possibly and run down the 005 of Dalton Collins. Nice little pack battle back here with the 84 of Ted Quinzel as the 54 of Nick Reynolds to the inside. Just ahead, the number 10 of Jason Covington, and they are going to move in the lower groove. Back behind Quinzel is the number 76 of Stephen Kinney. Kinney looking to the inside, nearly making contact with the 84 of Quinzel into turn 1. And now Reynolds is going to look to the inside of Covington in turns 3 and 4. They're both going to push up just a little bit before they bring it back down into the front stretch, kind of running an inverse line to what we've seen Collins and Holland running. Speaking of Matas and Holland, they are still going at it for second. Jeff Wood now putting some pressure on Holland to the high side. Oh, and they're flirting, folks, right in turn 3. Collins now over a second lead here into lap number 12. Oh, and Wood looking to the inside of Matas, taking a peek. Turns 1 and 2. Let's see what he does. Matas is going to bring it down to hold him off. That's going to give a little bit of clearance there for the 4 of Holland, as now West Holland starts to climb towards the 005 of Dalton Collins. Mata's in 3rd, Wood 4th. And it looks like Jason Covington has got a little bit of breathing room between him and Nick Reynolds. Oh, and we've got an incident. And Stephen Kenny's going to go for a wild ride. No caution flag's going to come out. Let's get a quick replay of that for you, folks. So caution's eventually going to come out here. We're following Stephen Kenny here, who gets on the apron, snaps up, and looks like Jake Anderson's going to push him down to the apron. And it looks like some heavy damage there from Brent Kuehl. Go back and take a look. Hiccup there, right out of turn number 2, and you can see some heavy damage right there on the 016 of Brent Kuehl. So a lot of the drivers coming down pit road. There's pit entrance. And Collins, who's led them all since the beginning, down on pit road now. Look to make his way off momentarily. Staring down about a 19, now hitting 20, 21, 22. 22.7 for the 005 is the pit time. Up against the guys like Wes Holland, who had a 22.5. Jason Covington had a 21.4. As we see Jason Covington's father, Craig Covington, out on the track. Currently in the lead position slot. Want to give a special shout out to his older son, Dustin Covington, who races in this league. Undergoing some surgery. Just want to let him know that the fans, friends, and family of Loose Lug Nuts and the folks here at Digital Forge Broadcasting, thoughts and prayers go out to the Covington family on a speedy recovery for Dustin Covington. Also want to give a shout out to tonight's sponsors, RaceGear.com, for the fans, by the fans. Check them out on the web, folks. A lot of great articles, a lot of great gear. RaceGear.com. The Wise Guys, Billy Wise's band. Billy Wise found himself in the hospital probably about a month or 2 ago. And looking for a speedy recovery out of that gentleman and get him back to the track. But if you're in the Tampa Bay region and you're looking for some great entertainment coming up this summer, check out the Wise Guys, folks. We play around the Tampa Bay region. And the beautiful paint schemes that you see here tonight, Over the Top Paints and Designs. Check them out on the web, on Facebook. Over the Top Paints and Designs for custom paints and more. So with the crossing of the start-finish line, it is Dalton Collins who's going to go back to the front. It's going to be deemed 17 laps led for the 005. Race information, since we had to dive in it tonight, we've been provided to you here. 78 degrees in the air, 55% humidity, partly cloudy, and a matching track temperature of 78 degrees. Here at this wonderful, wonderful 78th mile track. Should see the lights come off the pace cars. The flag stand looks to give the 1 to go signal. Cars will begin bunching up double file and will be back to green on lap number 20. Also want to make note, folks, if you haven't noticed, earlier this week when we were here for the JSRL 360 Sprint Car Series, it was a Porsche iRacing pace car. Has since been replaced by the Mustang iRacing pace car. See it denoted there. A lot of people out there wonder, why is a Porsche on a lot of your short tracks? And we wonder that as well. And iRacing said, you know what? We'll give you back the Mustang. And we got it back here tonight. Here we go, folks. Ready to go back racing on lap 20. Pace car is going to be looking to the inside of the pits as it heads through turn number 4. Past the Sunoco fuel sign, it goes down into the pits. We're ready to go racing. Collins gets on the gas, Holland to the outside. We're back to the green on lap number 20. From the top of turns 1 and 2, Collins still leads, shot out to a half a second lead over the 4 of West Holland. Jason Covington's able to make it into third with that 21.4 pit time that he had just prior to the caution. Jeff Wood now out on the track in 4th position. He's been in the top 5 all night. When he went down pit road, it was a 22.6 pit time. Looking to put the pressure on Jason Covington. Back behind him is Nick Reynolds. Reynolds in this series has got a pair of victories. One at USA back on December 16th and at the Milwaukee Mile on the 30th. The last race at Dover on January 6th went by way of the 4 of West Holland, and now Jeff Wood looking again to the inside of the 10 of Jason Covington in turn 3. He's going to be side by side with a 10. He's going to try to pull a slide move. He's going to have a car length over him. Here comes Nick Reynolds to the inside. He's going to look to capitalize as well. Jason Covington holds no contest, allowing both drivers by the inside as he'll try to work his way back to the inside of Nick Reynolds here in the backstretch. Into turn 3 and the 10 of Jason Covington to the inside now. Taking a peek, trying to work the 54 of Nick Reynolds as they work their way around into the first turn here on lap number 25. Single file action here tonight with the warmer temperatures in Iowa. And I gotta tell you what, folks, I know there was a heat wave in the Midwest. And here on January 13th, 78 degrees, and they say global warming does not exist. Well, I'm thankful it does in this case, as we're getting to see racing here in January in Iowa. Just as expected with the long runs now, we're starting to see the 4 of Holland really put the pressure on the 005 of Dalton Collins, who has been up front. Total of 25 laps led. He's looking for number 26 as he works his way to the start-finish line into lap 27. Has just about a 3/10 of a second lead over the 4 of West Holland. Holland, though, is closing the gap on the 005. This kid, I don't know where he came from, folks, but he brought that Dodge here to race tonight in Newton. And I tell you what, he has looked on fire. 27 laps led for the 005. Look at the gap. Holland looks like he's definitely got a contender to fight with him. We would normally see the 4 car have a lot of room, and there was a little hiccup there with Collins in turn 2. You seen a little wiggle action. He got down onto the apron. He's going to look to close the door on the 4 of Holland, as Holland was looking to the inside heading into turn 3. And they continue to battle it out up front. Collins, that time, a lot better looking through turn number 2. A little bit cleaner, no apron touching that time. I think he learned his lesson, hit his mark and is able to stay out in front with a 0.2 of a second gap over the 4 of Holland. Let's jump back into third. Take a look at that. Jeff Wood has a nice sizable gap over the 54 of Nick Reynolds. Looking at about a half a second between the pair. And again, seeing more and more gappage across the board. About the closest battle we got right now, folks, is right here, back in 13th position, the 44 of Niles Clyde and Stephen Kenny. Kenny was up in the top 10 earlier before he took the spill, right before turn number 3, when he got in contact with Jake Anderson. And a little battle brewing back here now, as we see Brandon Dorsett is looking to the inside of Jack Wass, the 077 machine. Behind them, the 38 of Bad Bob Wells in 18th position. And now under 0.2 of a second gap, Wes Holland's going to take a peek to the inside of Collins yet again. In turns 3 and 4, really trying to set him up for an inside pass. Collins is going to have to protect the inside here in turns 1 and 2, as Holland looks to get a little bit of draft action off the 005 in turns 1 and 2. Into the backstretch here on lap 33. And Collins flexing the muscles of the Dodge, trying to stay ahead of the Chevrolet-powered number 4 of Wes Holland's machine. Nice little old-school battle here between Dodge and Chevy. And as we see Collins into turn 1 and 2 on lap 34. Lower groove through the turns, really working well here tonight for these two drivers, as they do have, between the two of them, about a second and a half over the 64 Skull Bandit machine of Jeff Wood, who's back there in third. Back up to the front as we follow Wes Holland, who's really putting the pressure. One of the closest battles we got on the track here tonight. That guy right there taking a look to the inside. Through turns 3 and 4. Jumping back towards 7, Travis Zuderman tonight up in the top 10. The number 8 machine has looked better and better this season with every race. Told me prior to the race that he went into the offseason from last season, really looking to harness the power of this super late model, wanted to come back this season, and his goal was to be a top 10 driver. And tonight, folks, he's definitely living out that goal with the hard work and the fruits of his labor, as he's currently running 7th position right in front of the 84 of Ted Quinzel. Jake Anderson, the 025 machine, you can't really tell it because his number matches the paint scheme color of his car, looking like a big piece of an electrical tape on the side of it. But he is looking to the inside of Joseph McWhorter, the 33 machines to the high side. They're going to be side by side in turns 1 and 2. And ladies and gentlemen, here comes Jake Anderson. That Trans Am powered machine, a little Pontiac action for you to the inside. Not quite going to do it before turn 3, but he's going to work the lower groove as McWhorter is going to push to the high side. They're still going to hook up door to door as they come out of turn number 4 into the front stretch. The little Mobil 1 machine right ahead of Mark Jackson. Jackson just ahead of him, Ted Quinzel in the Mobil 1 machine, the 84 car. Pulling away a little bit from Jackson. And what a battle here between McWhorter and Anderson as they work their way, and it looks like McWhorter's going to win out that battle before turn number 3 here on lap 39. As we take a look back up front here on lap 40, Collins really trying to separate himself from Holland, but he cannot shake that 4 machine. Holland really putting the pressure on him now. We'll take you down on board with the 4. Show you how close this guy really is to the 005 of Dalton Collins. And a little bit of difference in line there. A little checkup action there from Holland to avoid contact into turn 4. As you can see, he's trying to get those little bit of runs that's going to give him the edge. And again, tonight, it's going to have to be an inside pass with the warmer temperatures, and you can see Dalton Collins protecting the inside just ahead to prevent the 4 of Holland from taking a peek and getting around it. Just tuning in, folks. Appreciate you tuning in this Friday night to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, folks. I'm Dustin Caldwell. As we continue to watch week number 4 here in the Friday Night Bump and Run Super Late Model Series here at Iowa. Dalton Collins, has led pretty much the whole race. Total of 43 laps now as we're on lap 44. Race summary, we're going to show that to you as we bring that out. One caution here tonight. Caution came out back on lap number 13. And it was a little bit of issues there with Brent Kuehl and a couple other drivers involved in that one. But have been green ever since lap 20. About a 25-ish green flag run that we've had, and we've seen the 4 of Holland really close the gap on the 005. Current top 5 for you right there on your screen, folks. We got the 005 of Dalton Collins, Wes Holland, Jeff Wood, Nick Reynolds, and Jason Covington. Your top 5 here into lap number 46. Taking a look back at the top 5, Jason Covington working his way into the front stretch across the start-finish line. Back behind him is Christopher Matas, who, if you watched early on in the race, Matas and Wood were going at it for second. Matas currently sitting back there in 6th position. Started outside that front row tonight. Has fallen off. Had about a 25.2 pit stop time during the first caution. Nice little 3-car battle we got back here with Jake Anderson. Just ahead, Joseph McWhorter, who has been just a little bit for him. Zudema had a little bit of issues with his car. He's just outside the top 10 behind Anderson. Anderson is the top 10 cutoff point. Zudema currently running in 11th. And a little love tap from Anderson into the side of the wall there in the front stretch as he came out of turn 4, a little bit of push. McWhorter now to the inside of Quinzel. McWhorter's going to move up into 8th if he can just edge out the Mobile One machine to the high side. Chief Quinzel, as he's going to do a little crossover action across the start-finish line into turn 1. Allowed the 33 car up to the high side, went back to the vantage point to the inside, and now puts McWhorter up to the high side, and the 33 is going to prevail. Oh, a little checkup action there to avoid contact. That's going to bring Anderson and Zudema down underneath. 3 wide action off of turn number 4 as Jake Anderson really threaded the needle between Zudema and Quinzel. And now Quinzel looks to get back to the inside of Anderson in the backstretch here on lap 51. Zudema looking to the inside of Quinzel. He's going to push wide, looking for a high line there. In turns 3 and 4, not going to find is what he wants. Oh, and Quinzel's going to tag the wall just outside of turn number 4. One of the symptoms we've seen of this track, folks. The longer the green flag run, the more the drivers push in turn 4. And it looks like a little bit of server issues here tonight. Do apologize for it. Some of the drivers experiencing a little bit of issues with servers going haywire. Here on lap 53, as I believe we have an alien spaceship over the track looking to interfere with signaling. And a lot of the drivers slowing up just a little bit as we continue to follow Jeff Wood. Seems like he kept the tin foil on his helmet. He's being unaffected by this signaling. As you can see, Nick Reynolds, unfortunately, back there in the Georgia-powered 54 Southeast Motorsports machine. And caution flag's going to come out. The race control finally deems this to be unsafe. They are going to bring out the caution flag, prevent anybody from having issues. So the Mustang iRacing pace car will come out on the double nickel lap. And Nick Reynolds popping a little bit of wheelies back there off of turn number 2. Something you don't see quite a lot in late models. And it looks like we are going to have a brief moment here, folks, while they get things figured out. So we are going to take a short commercial break. Make sure you stay tuned here and don't go anywhere, because we'll have more racing coming your way this Friday night.
Welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway today, everyone. My name's Jerry Caldwell. I'm general manager here at Bristol, and we are certainly excited to have you. We've got some big news that we're announcing today. May of 2017, some exciting things happening. First time we've done something like this in quite a while here at Bristol. So take a look at the video and we'll come back.
Bristol. It's the world's fastest half mile, often called the last great Coliseum. And now, it's home to the U.S. Nationals of short track racing. Your favorite short track superstars come to Thunder Valley from 6 of your favorite short track divisions. Three tiers of late models are included as they take to the high banks. It's coming May 2017. Bristol, now home to the U.S. Nationals of short track racing. Dreams will become reality.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Exciting times in May 2017. That's May 19th through the 21st, 2017. The U.S. Nationals of Short Track Racing right here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're so excited to welcome CRA and Cars, Southern Super Series, and all the racers and fans who are going to come join us for that. You're not going to want to miss it. This is going to be history in the making. We're going to reserve 3 spots, guaranteed provisionals for some of the NASCAR Cup guys. This will be the first time ever that we've had all these series together. Front-wheel drives, the modifieds, the pro late models, street stocks will join the super late models and the late model stocks. It's going to be a great weekend. You're going to want to come out and join us right here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Give us a call if you have questions, want more information. That'll be 423-BRISTOL, or you can visit us at bristolmotorspeedway.com.
Green flag flies and we are underway at Lanier National Speedway. And a nice little doozy into turn 3 as Farlow to the inside of Palmore. Palmore screams by that start-finish line. He's going to be credited with that first lap led to the outside, and he's got the momentum. Can he hold on to it? Side-by-side action in lap number 3. And again, Palmore just a nose over Ray Farlow. 2 laps led tonight. What a battle we have got back here for third. Bruce Jones still holding on to that third position slot. It's Dieball and Spittle back there eager to get around the 28 machine. Can they do it though? 10 laps remaining now here at Lanier. These guys are fighting for every inch out on this track, guys, gals alike. Cheryl Hill, who's been up in the top 5, currently running 7th. Into the restart box, takes off, the green flag flies, and the white flag's in the air. And it's going to be a short John here for the 72 of Rafe Barlow. Nobody's going to catch him. A half a second lead. Takes the checkered flag at Lanier National Speedway. What a battle for second as Bruce Jones held off Ben Dieball and Brad Spittle in fourth. Jim Vigg rounding out the top 5. Here they come. The green flag flies. We're off to the race. JP barely with a 1/10 of a second lead over the 72 of Farlow. Farlow trailing behind about a car and a half length behind Palmore into 3. Spittle back there in 3rd, looking on to the battle up front. Back in 4th, Corey Davis in a comfortable spot. Farlow playing the patience game here on lap number 12. Spittle not so patient, looks to the inside of Farlow. Off of turn 4 into the front stretch. Palmore extends his lead to 2/10 of a second. Jumping back into 5th, we see Bruce Jones trying to hold off Jim Vigg. Don LeBayer back there in 7th. Single file action with the 17 of Vigg looking to the inside now of Jones. And as they come to the checkered flag, pace car will bring them there. And they begin to take Palmore's going to take his victory lap. Farlow's going to work the inside, but there he is, folks. Your winner here tonight, the 25 DeWalt car there of Joseph J.P. Palmore. A little bit of Hoosier there on the front, too. And nice little victory burnout.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back underway out here in Iowa as the pace car looks to dip into the pits. Holland up front. And we're going to get the green flag on lap number 65. There's the green flag coming out. Took him to turn 2 to throw it. The realm, if you will, the track control here tonight having a little bit of an issue. Dalton Collins led the first 54 laps of this race. And fortunately, due to the incident, will have to work his way back from 9th position as race control not able to reset the field prior to when the issue started happening, but West Holland placed at the front of the field. You can see currently has about a 1.5 lead over the 64 of Jeff Wood. Nick Reynolds currently running in 3rd. Mata's back there in 4th. And behind him, the number 10 of Jason Covington. Caution flag is going to come out. A few of the drivers that we have not seen take to the track post the incident here tonight is 025 of Jake Anderson, Travis Zudema, Jack Watts, and Jeff T. Martin. Although I don't think Jeff T. Martin actually got to the grid here tonight. So we had to red flag it for a few laps. And talk about a tough break for this guy right here coming down pit road. Ah, he faked it. Looked like he was going to go down pit road, but he decided to stay out on the track. Led 54 laps of this race. The 005 of Dalton Collins in the Dodge. And Holland will be looking to pick up double digits under this caution for laps led. It's freaky fast. Freak mode, Chevrolet powered. Super late model. Jimmy John's kind of a little sponsor there as well. Beautiful looking paint scheme, folks. Brings us to our next point. Tonight's sponsors. RaceGear.com, for the fans, by the fans. Great articles, great gear. Find them on the web, RaceGear.com. The Wise Guys, Billy Wise's bands, and over-the-top paints and designs for custom paints and more. Check them out on Facebook. And as always, folks, proud to bring you some great wall cam, crank it up cam, and just general cam action from Ryan Eckstein of Eckstein Cameras. Does an excellent job putting together camera packages for us to be able to showcase the racing intensity that's out there on the track. And as we continue to follow your race leader, West Holland, going to look for back-to-back victories tonight as he got his first last week at Dover. Should see the lights come off this time by as the flag stand looks ready to give the 1-to-go signal as the pace car, the Mustang iRacing pace car, makes its way to the start-finish line towards lap number 69. So we will be back green on lap number 71. Got at least one more lap to go as they had to give a wave around. Like Michael Jean's taking a wave around right there. Michael Jean's here tonight. How about that? Started 9th, currently running 17th. And again, folks, positioning a little bit of a hiccup ever since we'll call it the rain delay. I had to go to the red flag for the rain delay. And Michael Jeans getting another wave around. Wasn't Michael Jeans. I apologize. Just a little bit of a hiccup. I believe it was Brian Bizel that got the wave around there. Anyways, the lights are off the pace car. 1 to go signal. We'll be back green on lap 71. Just a hoopla of lineup changes here. Still, we're going to try to track the 005 of Dalton Collins, who has been a sensation tonight at Iowa. Currently running 8th position when we go back green. Bizel makes it to the field in the backstretch. Here we go. Holland and Wood, Reynolds and Matas, their front four. Pace car works its way out of 3 into turn 4, staring down the Sunoco fuel sign. It'll make its way down pit road. And there it goes. Holland ready to set the pace, gets on the gas. There's the green flag. We're back to the race. Jumps away from the field, 3/4 of a second lead. Works his way into the backstretch, and as everybody likes to joke around, pushes that NOS button and gets away from the rest of the drivers. Nice little pack battle back behind Jeff Wood as Matas trying to hold off Covington. McWhorter to the outside. Collins back behind McWhorter and Jason Covington. Ted Quinzel back behind the 005 of Collins. Covington to the inside of McWhorter into the backstretch. And as now they work their way into the front stretch. Dalton Collins looking to the inside of Jason Covington as he just clears Joseph McWhorter. So now the Dodge on the move back towards the front. He's currently in the top 5 here on lap 74. Again, one of the faster cars tonight. Led the first 54 laps of this race up until the point of the rain delay. And Jason Covington sticking right with Dalton Collins. Collins will pull away in the backstretch. Looking to reel in the 27 of Christopher Matas just ahead. Jeff Wood looking to put the pressure on Nick Reynolds. These two have fought a lot around the first couple races. Reynolds flirting with the apron out of turn 2. And here comes Matas to put the pressure on the 64 of Jeff Wood. Into the backstretch on lap 77. The 27 of Christopher Matas has a little bit of push in the entry point to turn 3. That slows him up just a bit. Wood's going to stay, but look at the gapage now between Matas and Collins. Collins is reeling in the 27's. Got plenty of time to do it. The question stands, can he get around these 3 cars and actually reel in Wes Holland? Oh, and Collins has a miscue in turn 3. Pushed up the track a little bit. Lost a little bit off the pace. May have been testing it to see if he could catch some momentum. But how about this now? He's got a lot of momentum. Turns 1 and 2 has really closed the gap. And He is going to stay wide, so he did find something up in that higher groove compared to the lower groove, which has been run all night. And look at the momentum in the front stretch. He is reeling in the 27 of Christopher Matas. Matas is going to protect the lower groove, which Collins, at this point, I'm sure, will tip the hat and say, that's fine, I'm going to go to the outside in turns 3 and 4. Watch Matas to go low. Dalton Collins will stay up a little bit higher as Jeff Wood seeking a little bit of grip on the outside as well. And down underneath, near 3-wide action, and Wood's going to be spun. He saves it. What a beautiful save. There goes the 005 of Dalton Collins, capitalizing on that incident. Wow. That could have been a lot worse. But what a beautiful save by the 64 of Jeff Wood. Right there. Falls back to 6 out of the ordeal. McWhorter and Quinzel back behind him are catching up quick. I'm sure his heart's still racing. Trying to save that car with all the contact with near 3-wide action. And Mata's just ahead. About a 0.6 of a second ahead of him. How about the battle between McWhorter and Quinzel into the backstretch? McWhorter's going to take to the high side. Quinzel in the Mobil 1 machine trying to grease up that inside groove and work around him. Not going to have it this time by the start-finish line. Into lap number 84 they go, side by side yet again, and McWhorter can't shake loose Ted Quinzel. He got some on the straightaway there in the backstretch, but turn 3, Chief can really wheel this 84 car right around. Oh, and it looked like it was a possible slide there from the 48 of Brandon Dorsett. Brent Kuehl and Michael Jeans going at it. Almost said Travis Zudem. I seen the 8 there. The 08 is Michael Jeans, Brent Kuehl, the 6016 car. And now Dalton Collins. Take a look at this, folks. Tracking down the 54 of Nick Reynolds here on lap number 87. Was far back as 9th after the restart. Has climbed his way all the way back up to 3rd, and now is going to be inside of Nick Reynolds coming off of turn number 4. He's got to get around the 54 of Nick Reynolds. And will have to drive the wheels. Currently about 2 seconds behind your race leader, Wes Holland, who has led a total of 31 laps now. Side by side with Reynolds. Collins looking to the inside, trying to clear the 54. Side-by-side action in the backstretch towards turn number 3, diving it down low. He's going to clear the 54 of Reynolds, and Collins from 9th to 2nd. That Dodge is on the move here at Iowa. Just about 45 laps to go in tonight's race. Collins starting to pull away. Just about under 2 seconds behind Wes Holland. What a doozy if he could catch the number 4 machine. Lap traffic ahead. Looks to be the 18 of Brian Bizzell. And Bizzell will stay low, trying to figure out where the lead lap cars want to go. And Bizzell not yielding to Collins. Collins is going to fire it up towards the wall. Bizzell will stay right with him into turn 3. Slows up just a little bit. He's going to touch the apron. Nearly almost hit Nick Reynolds there. Nick Reynolds is able to avoid the contact. Bizzell a little bit nervous there, just wanting to make sure the lead lap cars are going to get by without contact. And now, how about this, folks? The 005 of Dalton Collins. 1 3/4 seconds. He has picked up a quarter of a second time. Will it be enough? Less than 45 laps to go here at Iowa, and he's starting to see. Let's go on board with him. We'll see if he can actually get a view of Wes Holland just ahead. So there is Wes Holland in the backstretch. And this 005 car is tracking him down. He's under 1.7 seconds now. So as Holland comes across the start-finish line, 30 laps remain in tonight's race. I tell you what, how about 40? Let's go ahead and go with 40. The rain got to my mind. Possible different outcomes so far than what we have seen tonight. 39 laps led for the number 4 of Wes Holland. 54 led for the 005 of Dalton Collins. Bad Bob Wells led 3 under the yellow at the return of the red flag. Collins now looking at 1 1/4 second gap. Right there is Wes Holland. He is reeling him in. At the rate he is going, he will be on the bumper of Wes Holland by lap 110. Let's jump back and catch some more of the action as we see Jeff Wood into the top 5. Jason Covington in 6th. Just ahead, the 27 of Christopher Matas, having a solid night here tonight in Iowa. And again, took a long hiatus. Had a child last year and had to have a little bit of daddy duty. And proud father Christopher Matas excited to return back to racing. And tonight, really driving the wheels off the 27 car right ahead of Jeff Wood. And Ted Quinzel looking to battle a little bit with Michael Jeans, but how about the 74 of Wesley Whitfield and the 48 of Brandon Dorsett going at it across the start-finish line into triple digits. Lap 101 for these drivers, and the 74 of Whitfield is going to prevail over the 48 of Dorsett. Dorsett, though, is going to have a nose over Whitfield into turn 3, and the battle for 11th position rolls on through the fourth turn into the front stretch. Ted Quinzel, the Mobil 1 car, just ahead, and I think Whitfield trying to pull a little bit of running back maneuver and pinch the 48 of Dorsett on the back of the 84 of Quinzel, and it is going to work to his favor here on lap 102, and now Whitfield will battle side by side with Quinzel for 10th position. And Whitfield will get around Quinzel at the start-finish line. And Quinzel, though, not looking to go away. He's going to have a push. Little checkup action in turn 2, and now that brings Dorsett to the inside. Dorsett's going to swing by and put Quinzel back in 12th. Dorsett now moves into 11th. And Michael Jeans makes his way down pit road and McWhorter as well, and somebody missed the pit road. Will come to a stop. So a little bit of pit action there. Here comes Dalton Collins. Wes Holland. See, as we see Wesley Whitfield heading on to pit road. Holland now comes off with a 18.1 pit second time. He's back out on the track. Collins has got to get the crew together. He's just starting to pit, and it doesn't look hopeful as Holland snuck down pit road faster than expected. And Collins with a 4-tire swap. This just got interesting. Elected to take the 4 tires right now. Pending the event of any caution, he might stay out on the track. Collins went with a 21.8. Holland, I'm not sure, took tires. He had an 18.1 pit second time. Your current leader, though, the 003 of Mark Jackson with the Gravedigger paint scheme, will be looking towards pit road this time by. He's going to sneak under the yellow line. And now Mark Jackson will have 2 laps led before he goes in for his final pit stop. Holland out on the track will look to take back the race lead. Niles Clyde comes down pit road as well for his final pit stop of the night. Average pit time about between 20 and 22 seconds we've seen down on there, unless the drivers are taking fuel. So Holland will go back to the head of the field this time around as he crosses the start-finish line. We'll have 46 laps led tonight. And Holland officially taking over the race lead here into lap 109. 46 laps led. Dalton Collins, 5.3 seconds behind, but he's on a full set of fresher tires. Can he reel in the 4 of Holland? Current top 5, Holland, Collins, Reynolds, Jackson, Covington. And I tell you what, folks, I'm not sure, unless a caution flag comes out, that is going to be the pivotal point that the 005 of Dalton Collins can have a chance to reel in Wes Holland. And again, tonight, Holland looking for a back-to-back victory here in the Friday Night Bump and Run Super Late Model Series. He got his first victory this season at Dover last week, as it was Nick Reynolds. Nick Reynolds, who had got the first 2 weeks, or victories in the first 2 weeks. Getting close to the 20 to go mark. 10 cars on the lead lap with that last pit stop exchange. Fastest pit time down there went to the 003 of Mark Jackson with a 15-second pit time. And of course, if we're going to do the fast, we're going to do the slow. Slow currently went to Wesley Whitfield with a 36.4. And Collins about 5.1 seconds behind Wes Holland. 20 to go mark this time by as Holland works his way to the lower grooves of turns 3 and 4. As he heads into the front stretch across the start-finish line into 1:16, 20 laps remain here at Iowa. Jeff Wood and Jason Covington battling for third. Wood to the inside across the start-finish line. Jeff Wood. How about Matas and Reynolds going at it? Matas looking to the inside of Reynolds. Side-by-side action out of turn number 2 as Christopher Matas looking to pass the 54 of Nick Reynolds. Nearly door slamming each other as they work their way into the third turn. Matas in 6th, Reynolds 5th. And Matas is going to have a nose over Reynolds unless he's catching some momentum. And Matas will hold on to 5th this time by. And Matas will clear Reynolds. Pushing Reynolds outside the top 5. Stephen Kenny finds the wall in turn 3, the same point he did earlier tonight. Oh my. Oh my. What have we got here? Stephen Kenny finding the wall for the second time tonight, slows up on the track, and the caution flag will fly on lap 121. Let's go back and take a look at Kenny and see exactly what happened. But things just got interesting here at Iowa. Stephen Kenny, not exactly sure what happened there. And a little bit of spin out, it's going to bring out the caution flag. And I tell you what, folks, I think race control is going to be issuing a no-no to this guy right here. Holland's going to come back down pit road. Let's see what he decides to do. Collins just ahead of him. We got a battle off of pit road. Let's see what happens. Can Holland. Holland staring down a 9.1 second pit time. And Collins. Is he going to gamble and take the 4 tires? No. Yes, he is. Collins is going to gamble on 4 tires. Holland comes off of pit road. There goes Collins. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, do not get up from your seats to get a beverage. Use the restroom. If you got to, do it now before we go back to green, because this is going to be a showstopper here in Iowa. It, as the young ones would say, it just got real here in Iowa. The field has been reeled in. Collins will be beside Holland in that second row at the restart. And to everybody out there in YouTube chat, give a hearty hello and a thank you to Ryan Eckstein. He just joined us out there in YouTube chat with these beautiful cameras that we've got. When we go back green, I want everybody out there, if you're able to crank up the volume to catch this intensity when we go back green, hopefully for the final time tonight. We'll throw in the cranking up cams, get in the moment, because it is going to go down when we go back to green. Madas and Reynolds are going to be out front currently, but they decided to stay out. So anticipate Holland and Collins to come firing around. And for you stat fanatics out there, it was a 22.5 second pit time, 5 for Holland and a 22.9 for Collins. And I believe both went for 4 tires. It'll be 10 to go when we see the green flag. Anticipate the lights to come off the pace car this time by. Oh mama, it's gonna get crazy. A lot on the line, and Dalton Collins, the sensation tonight earlier here in Iowa, got pinched back to 9th after the rain delay. Holland went on to lead a total of 59 laps. Here they come across the start-finish line. Lights off the pace car. 10 to go when we go back green. Make sure you thank Ryan Eckstein for these crank it up cameras that we're about to show you, folks. This is where it's happened. This is what it's about. Drivers in a weekly battle looking to score as much points as they can. Newcomers looking to knock off the legends. Here we go. Into the third turn, the Mustang iRacing pace car will be staring down pit road. In turn number 4. Madas to set the pace. Reynolds to the outside. Holland, Collins. Here we go. Pace car into the pits. 10 to go. Christopher Madas gets on the pace. Here we go. Green flag flies. With 9 to go, Collins has passed Holland. Madas still holding on to the race lead, but for how long? Here comes the 005 of Dalton Collins. Side-by-side action between Reynolds back there with Jason Covington. Collins to the inside of Madas. We've got another race leader. 8 laps to go. Oh, and Covington's going to tag the wall. Reynolds will be to the inside. 3 wide action into turn 1. Holland's going to try to catch the 005. Can he do it with 8 laps to go? Everybody's battling out. Holland's going to clear Madas. Holland to the inside of Collins. Collins pushes, comes back down right in front of the 4. He's going to hold on to the race lead with 7 laps to go. Not even 0.2 of a second gap between the top 2 drivers. Dalton Collins got the set of 4. Wes Holland got the set of 4. But give it up for the 27 of Christopher Madas. He's hanging in there, folks, back there on the older set of tires. In third, he's going to tag the wall. Here comes Jeff Wood. Covington and Reynolds still battling back there for 5th position. Mark Jackson and Bad Bob Wells are going at it as well. Bad Bob to the inside of Jason Covington. A staggered 3 wide into turn 3. And I tell you what, folks, with 5 to go, a 1/4 of a second lead. Dalton Collins in the Dodge. Wes Holland in the Chevrolet. They have been battling out, led the most laps between the 2. They are now tied for 59 laps led here at Iowa. Collins is going to stare down 60 at the start-finish line with 4 to go. Jeff Wood trying to track down the 27 of Madas. Madas trying to work it to the low groove. Wood way down there. Into the backstretch they go. And Jeff Wood looking to the inside of Christopher Matas. Through turns 3 and 4, Matas to the high side. He's going to flirt with the wall in the front stretch. Cross that start-finish line. Matas is still going to hold on to third across the start-finish line. But in turn number 2, the 64 of Wood is tracking. They are going at it for third position. And Jeff Wood looking like he's going to prevail over Matas. And we'll have third across the start-finish line with 2 laps to go. Up front, a 3/10 of a second lead. The Dodge has won the battle so far. It'll be the white flag the next time by for Dalton Collins. Off of turn 4, here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. 1 more lap to go. Holland's going to tag the wall. White flag in the air here in Iowa. What a bittersweet night for the 005 of Dalton Collins. Got out, led the first 54 laps of this race. The rain delay pushed him back tonight. He worked his way back up into the top 5, into third, and now taking the victory here at Iowa, the 005 of Dalton Collins. Holland will finish second. Jeff Wood and Matas third and fourth, respectively. Jason Covington will round out your top 5. And as always, we'll take you up to the blimp cam to see the beautiful fireworks on display. Got to kind of squint for them. The rain winds pushed our blimp a little bit further than we'd liked, but still able to bring some fireworks to you. And there is your winner tonight. How about it? The 005 of Dalton Collins. And the fireworks continue here at Iowa. Go ahead and bring up the results on your screen. And we'll look at get some driver interviews for you. We're going to go ahead and go live now. Driver of the school machine, the number 64 of Jeff Wood joins us tonight. And Jeff, what a battle. Tell us a little bit about the thoughts under the red flag. What did you guys think about that second half coming out? Had you seen anything different, knowing that we had the 78-degree temperatures early on tonight? You were running around the top 5 pretty much all night long. But when we went to the red flag, was there any talk down there in the pits on your strategy, how you were going to take to the track for the second half of the race?
Yeah, first and foremost, to the people that stuck around through that red flag situation, it was a little bit of a hectic getting guys where we needed them and whatnot. But for those that stuck around in the audience, thank you very much. But coming out of that, it was a little bit frustrating. I felt like the tires weren't heated to the normal race conditions, such, and it really messed with my line. I was able to get back into it once we got through that green flag pit stop, and that really served well for me.
Leading up to the final laps, you had a great battle with Christopher Matas. Tell us a little bit about the action that you guys had and what it finally took for you to be able to get around him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he was on no tires or 2 tires out of that last caution, but it just took consistency. I was on 4 and he was on less than that, and I had to run him up a bit to the higher lane. It was hard to pass, but I needed the middle lane to gain position on him through the front stretch to get that turn 1 corner.
Well, you were able to do it and secure a podium finish tonight here in Iowa. After all the controversy, you come home in third. Is there any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, the racers that stuck around tonight through the downfall of the server, people that stuck around in the broadcast. Thanks to you again, Dustin, for sticking with us through that little mishap, and my teammates for helping me out where they can, and Loose Lug Nut Racing, our sponsors, the Wise Guys, over Todd Paints and Designs, racegear.com, and dfda.info. John for all the time we're talking and getting stuff done through the league. Thanks to everyone for that.
Well, congratulations here tonight in Iowa, and congratulations to your third place finish.
Thank you, Dustin.
All right, folks, we're going to go live now to a guy, one of the guys who battled all night, had a total of 59 laps led, and after the red flag really took off. I mean, we're talking a 3/4 of a second lead, Wes, and we talk about this each and every week, those long green flag runs. Car looks really solid, and the pressure early on in the battle that you had with Dalton Collins in the early part of the race kind of led right up to the point of the red flag here tonight. Then afterwards, didn't really see the 005 until that final caution when he was able to be reeled in. Came back from a 5-second gap, and you guys both went down. Tell us the intensity to get down on pit road to make sure you beat the 005 off the pit road as you were able to do with that 22.6 or 22.5 pit time. And going down, did you know you were going to have to go for 4 tires, or what was the strategy when you came down pit road?
Honestly, man, I wasn't even worried about the pit stop deal. It was just the cautions, man. I get killed by cautions every time. It's like my kryptonite. So Dalton, hats off to him. He raced a good race, and it proved in the end he got the win. It's just there was no way he was catching me at the end there when I had a 5-second lead with like 12 to go. But it was a good race, and he deserves this one.
Well, even though he came away with a victory, still hats off to you and the excellent job under that Chevrolet-powered engine that you did here tonight. Really keeping with him to be able to come into the runner-up slot. Was staring down a possible back-to-back victories. You got one last week in Dover. Next week we roll into New Hampshire, kind of going back to the bigger style tracks compared to what we're here at Iowa. Tell us, what is your thought in the track next week compared to here?
It's super flat, and it's got those tight, almost similar to like Milwaukee turns, or I wouldn't say Martinsville, but it's just got that flat style banking, and it's one of those tracks that you really gotta set up a line, and you gotta know what you're doing through the corners, or you're not gonna get a good run off the corner, and that's where you lose most of your speed there. So we're excited to go there next week. As much as I hate to say I'm points racing, I mean, these new guys can come in here that only have one race under their belt and do what they got to do. I just got to stay out of trouble and keep finishing good like I did tonight.
All right, well, we'll look forward to that next week, but congratulations here tonight in Iowa on your runner-up finish.
Thank you, sir. I just want to give a shout-out to all the sponsors and you, Digital Forge, and John and Jeff putting this on every week, and everybody out there. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night for our podcast number 2 on Loose Lug Nuts TV.
All right, there you have it, folks. Excellent job done tonight here by the 4 of West Holland. We're going to go live now to tonight's winner. Kind of come out of the woodwork here tonight, Dalton, in your Dodge, but really set the tone early on by scoring up front, and then you really run up front for the first 54 laps of this race. Tell us a little bit about it. First of all, give a little introduction to yourself. I know you're one of the newer drivers here in Loose Lug Nuts. Where are you coming from, and where are you out of, and are we going to see more of you?
Yeah, thanks, man. I'm fairly new to this new league that I found through Driven Motorsports. Actually, it's a super late model team that I've get hooked up with, and big success tonight with them. And I found this league through them, and actually came from the Pro Series. Actually, I used to do a lot of the Cup stuff. Ran the Pro Series at NIS, and just I think I'm done with that for now. But coming back to the Supers, man, I really have a soft spot for these things, and I really enjoy them, and I really dedicate a lot of time to them. And really tonight's race was crazy, actually. But the first part of it was out leading, and just really had a good race, and then that glitch or whatever happened. But that kind of got everybody jumbled up, and I know the race control was trying to get everybody situated and sorted out, but we got that taken care of. I really didn't agree with not getting the lead back, but
Well, if we could talk a little bit about, sorry to interrupt here, but I'm talking a little bit about it. Knowing that you had the lead kind of going into the red flag event and coming back out, you staring down 9th position, and you really started to work, once we went back under green, you started to work your way back into the top 5. What, when you were, before that restart, you're around 9th position, what was your thoughts on what you had to do to get yourself back towards the front?
Well, I do understand the race control was trying to do everything they could, but like at that point, I kind of saw myself, getting back up there, but when pit stops happen and everything, before that last caution, I really didn't see myself winning it, but on that restart, I just drove my guts out, getting back up to the front, and then once I got there, I stayed there. So, it was one of my favorite short tracks and my all-time favorite car. So,
when that final caution flag had come out, knowing that you were looking at about a 5.1 second gap with Wes Holland, the caution flag comes out, what went through your mind at that point in time?
I was really come down to get tires, get some fresh Eagles on that thing, or Hoosiers, or or whatever these super late models run. But just come down and get tires and get some new rubber and just go back at it and just do what I had to do. And actually got an amazing restart and got clear of West there. And then I know the leader. I don't think he took tires. I'm actually not really sure about that. But once I got past him, I just put the hammer down and just stayed up there.
Well, definitely an excellent job done here tonight, Iowa. Next week we trail over to New Hampshire. We're going to see the 005 machine return next week.
Most likely, yeah. New Hampshire's one of my favorite tracks as well. I used to run that in the Cup car and stuff like that. So yeah, coming back there in the Super, that's gonna be great for me. Yeah, you actually might see me around.
All right. Well, looking forward to that. Excellent job done here tonight to take the victory. Is there any thanks or shout outs you'd like to give?
Everybody at German Motorsports, man. Like I said, I got hooked up with them. They're a super late model team I found through the power of Facebook, actually. We've been running supers all this week. Got second in the Warshock Super Series on Wednesday at New Smyrna, and then ran Major League Esport last night at Southern National, got 5th, and then the win tonight. So, great week. I was hoping to sweep all 3, but unfortunately it didn't work out. But this is awesome. This is awesome.
Well,
thanks
definitely
to all the guys at Driven and Jonathan Smith, AJ, all those guys. Thank you.
Definitely an awesome job done here tonight, Dalton. We look forward to seeing more action out of the 005 coming up next week at New Hampshire.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, folks. What a night of racing. A lot of drama unfolding. You get a lot of bumps. You got a lot of runs. You got a red flag. You got a couple of cautions in there. Nevertheless, it was a night of nights here at Iowa. Let's go ahead and take a look at the results on the screen. Dalton Collins, the 005, will come away with the victory. Wes Holland, Jeff Wood, Christopher Matas, and Jason Covington rounding out the top 5. Mark Jackson, Nick Reynolds, Joseph McWhorter, Bad Bob Wells, Ted Chief Quinzel, known as the Chief. He'll round out the top 10. Brandon Dorsett, Michael Jeans, Craig Covington, Niles Clyde, Brent Kuehl, Wesley Whitfield, Stephen Kinney, Brian Bizzell, Jake Anderson, Travis Zudema through 20. And your field here tonight, Jack Watts and Jeff T. Martin not taken to the grid with a little bit of engine problems before they had a chance to field their cars. Coming up tomorrow night, we are not going to be broadcasting. We was scheduled to broadcast the Cars Esport Tour, but due to the actual Cars Tour having their 2016 banquet dinner at Hendricks Motorsports, we'll postpone it one more week, so the schedule will get shuffled back by 1 week. So we will be off until Monday when we will have the JSRL 360 Sprint Car Series. Do appreciate you tuning in this Friday night, folks, to catch this great race action here with the Loose Lug Nuts League and their Bump and Run Friday Night Series. It's been a pleasure to be able to cover this action. As always, let's give a shout out to the sponsors as well. RaceGear.com, The Wise Guys, and Over the Top Paints and Designs for their continued support of this great series. And also give a shout out to Ryan Eckstein of Eckstein Cameras for the beautiful job he does putting together the camera packages week in and week out for us here at the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. If you'd like to know more about us, find us on the web at forgebroadcasting.com. We love to bring great broadcasts to you week in and week out. Current openings, we do have a Wednesday night slot. If you know anybody who runs a short track league or series that would like to get in on the action here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network, send us a contact request out there on our website or check us out on Facebook. But that will do it for us this Friday night, folks. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you Monday night. Good night, everybody.